Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 2021 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. They are a scammer. Do not be scammed. I will not be soliciting you for anything. With that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius. April 2021, money and career, Aquarius. April 2021, money and career, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels. Oh, goodness. And spirit guides, angels, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. All right. And let's see. Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. Let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Aquarius, April 2021, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And the energy we have to be mindful of. What energy does Aquarius need to be mindful of? April 2021, money and career. Energy that Aquarius needs to be mindful of. April 2021, money and career. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, these two. Okay. So we're going to see what the tarot says. We're crowned here by the Seven of Swords. Okay, so there's sneakiness here, but there's also a sense of us gathering up our information, what is needed to be able to move forward. People are going to want us to tell them everything. Don't because it's going to be detrimental for you if you do. The Two of Swords, you're at a crossroads, most definitely, but there's also a sense of more coming to the table than what you had expected. Leads us to the King of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But there's also a sense of a great kind of progression within your career, within the way that you want to move forward. Wands, of course, represent the career. The Pentacles represent money. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So there's definitely something coming forward, a wish granted. It's kind of like we're in our heads too much, okay, at the beginning of this time. But then as we kind of step back and say, what do I really want? What am I really headed for? That starts to change things. And all of a sudden, we start to see blessings come, wishes granted. We have the Queen of Pentacles here, so we definitely have the money coming in, which is super important, and the creativity is coming forward. And then we are rooted with judgment, so we're rising out of the box. Like we might have once felt stuck. For a lot of us, we have felt stuck and overwhelmed and thinking, I can't move forward the way that I want to, or, why did I ever have dreams if this is where I'm going to be stuck? And here it's kind of like that resurrection out of despair. And even if it's just for a moment, it's like, oh my gosh, I know there's more here. I know there's more here than what I have been settling for. It moves us to our chakra energy, which is rebirth, which is exactly what Judgment is saying. It's that resurrection, it's that coming together, it's that empowerment, and we're really seeing ourselves, stand our ground, know what we desire. We're embracing the earth chakra, which is located 6 inches below our feet. We are coming, it really does feel like Spirit is saying we're coming out of the earth and into our lives. The energy we are to be mindful of is the Princess of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We can be a little bit naive during this time, also very inquisitive and very into what people are saying. It's like, oh, why are you saying this? Oh, what's going on here? And then with the Hermit, with Virgo energy, we need to be mindful of, well, Spirit is really showing me Aquarius at this time. So it's really showing me us at this time where there's this sense of being too much, kind of pulled away. And that's where the secretiveness comes from. There's also this sense of like we're wanting to know how to move forward, what's the best avenue to go to or go through. And we're getting radio silence on the other end. It's kind of like, nope, can't do this. Not going to give you the information or the guidance that you want. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. And in a real sense, Aquarius, during this time, it's going to be a lot of figuring things out on your own, seeing things for yourself, not listening to what everybody else is saying, because they're going to color it in such a way that it's just not going to be right for you. It's kind of like they're going to color it. I just see reds and really harsh colors, and you're going to want something softer. You're going to want something a little bit gentler during this time. And that's what's going to be really important. So during this time, be very mindful also of people who are gossips, because what they're going to do is they're gathering information, and they're kind of like saying, oh, okay, well, I'm going to tell you this because it'll make you think that I trust you. And then when you start to trust me, I'm going to get to gather up information, which I will then tell to other people. So really be mindful of that during this time. And it's going to be a person who very much has their own plan, their own scheme going on that you're going to be a little bit aware of. You really are. You are going to look at that person and be like, no, that's not right. But you're not going to be as maybe aware as you should be, okay, of what they're doing. And that's really where the Seven of Pentacles comes into play. It's like, okay, there's secrets here. They're just going to be, the secrets almost have secrets during this time. And when it comes to you yourself, I mean, that's okay. You don't have to tell everybody everything, even though people might say, oh, Aquarius, why aren't you being as chatty as you usually are? Or, oh, I feel shunned out. It's like, no, you're not. I just need to focus on what I need to focus on. I just have a lot on my plate, and I can't be distracted right now. Thank you very much. If they can understand, that's awesome. That's a good person to have around. If they can't understand, well, that's on them. And you still need to be moving forward in your direction and what you desire towards where it is that you want to be and where it is that you desire to end up. So there's a sense of gathering certain things and leaving other things. It's like, no, I can't do this. I don't want this. It's not for me. The Two of Swords really is thinking, okay, there's 2 directions forward. That's it. End of the discussion. I have left. I have right. I can do this. I can do that. Period. And what you're going to see here is during this time, as we're really saying, okay, these are the 2 ways. This is what I've kind of married myself to, is either one direction or the other. We're going to start to see different avenues coming up. And that can be really frustrating because it's like, well, wait a minute. I've worked so hard thinking that this was it. And now it's not. Now there's more ways forward than I can even conceive of. What's going on? And it's the fact that the world is opening. And it's opening in that way that can make us feel uncomfortable, that can make us feel overwhelmed, that can make us think, oh no, this isn't right. But then all of a sudden it starts to become right. It starts to change from this crazy idea or from, kind of walking this path on a lark or doing this just because it's like, well, I'm a little bit bored, let me see what happens, to being like, oh my gosh, there's something here. There really is something here. And then the options start to open. It's also being open with the mind and the way of thinking because, of course, the swords represent the mind. So holding our ideas to ourselves during this time, not saying, oh, I'm going to share it with everybody. Oh my gosh, I have this great idea. Let me tell you, let me be so proud of this that everybody can see it. It's like, no, this is my idea. this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I have going on here. And the Two of Swords, it's kind of like when we start to be a little bit more selfish, because it's being more business-minded. It's being a little bit colder. The Swords have us being more mindful of our minds, more mindful of our breath and our expression. And so it's not being as hasty as maybe we would normally be. And so we start to embrace that. Now, born under the Swords in the Minor Arcana, we're not necessarily hasty people, but there is a sense of when we just need to cut through the nonsense and the malarkey and just charge forward, we can do so with what outsiders would see as recklessness. But it's kind of like, if I don't charge forward now, it's kind of like what Spirit is showing me is a war cry, forward, an ancient war cry, forward. It's like, I have to rev myself up, because if I don't go and do it now and scream and get all the fear out of me, I'll never do it. So that is definitely what we're feeling during this time. And it's going to start opening up different pathways, because it's like, I have to jump, like I have to do this. And it's going to lead to different understandings. It's going to lead to different insights. And it leads us then to the King of Wands. It leads us to passion and creativity. It leads us to a greater understanding of what it is that we want. This is a time where we're not afraid to roll up our sleeves. Now, we can get into opposition with other people who are just as tenacious as we are during this time. So that can be a little bit tricky. And because everybody's kind of holding their cards close to their chest, we're not necessarily going to know where they come from, why they're doing this, but there is a real sense here of saying, this is what I want. This is what I'm ready to get my hands dirty for, to really focus on, to really embrace and to move forward with. And nobody's going to stop me. And there's this real sense here of nobody's going to stop me. This is what I want, this is where I'm headed, and this is what I'm headed for. Period, end of discussion. We become a king in this way. So when it comes to work, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to expression, which is what the Wands are all about, we're going to be seen during this time. It isn't going to be a time where we kind of step back. With money, we don't need everybody to know our business with money. And that's absolutely cool. But with our tenacity, with our charisma, with our careers, or our hobbies that we love more than our careers, those things start to shine through. We start to shine through. And it leads us to our joys and our happinesses. It leads us to a place where, we know we have a lot of hard work ahead, but there's a triumph here. It's kind of like signing that deal or having that sale and being like, wow, I didn't expect that. And it came at just the right time. It's also this shift. It's like things start to shift, and it's going from, oh my gosh, I thought I wasn't going to be able to make it, or I thought this was so hard, or I was really questioning, to being like, oh, I know. Oh my gosh, I know. I know where it is that I want to be. I see the greater picture. I see what it is that I desire. I see me more clearly now. And it's in the realm of success. So it's like we have one win. And by having that one win, the confidence starts to build. The tenacity starts to build. And it's like, I can do this more. And it leads us to this place of financially being prosperous. We're also going to find ourselves connecting with mentors during this time, connecting with people who help build what we're seeing, what we desire, our way forward. Now we have the connection here, fire sign energy, earth sign energy during this time, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you're born on the cusp with Capricorn, okay, that part of your personality is going to come out really heavily during this time. And during this time, you can find yourself being a little bit more reserved, okay, and wanting to make lists, wanting to have everything perfect. But because the air sign energy is going to come in, it disrupts the list. It says you can't plan everything, even if you want to. It's kind of like there's a time for planning, but now is a time for action. And there's going to be this need to nurture your prosperity, to nurture the gifts that you even might have started doubting. Spirit just showed me, it's so funny. Spirit just showed me when I was in grade school, I had this art teacher, and I desperately wanted to be an artist. I really did. And she told me, like, you have no talent, just stop. And that wasn't necessarily true, but I listened to her for some strange reason. And she curtailed what I desired. She did. She made me think, well, okay, I really wanted this thing and this thing, so I'll focus on the other thing, because there was no way I was going to be, good, because she said I wasn't. And that's what we're going to see here. It's like, okay, so I gave up on this dream, and it could have been in grade school. Like, okay, I walked away from this, and now it's starting to come back. Now I'm starting to surround myself with beautiful things again, and really embrace art and beauty and all that stuff. And that's what we're going to be doing during this time. It's like what somebody once veered us off track with, what somebody once, told us we couldn't do. Now we're starting to see that we had those seeds planted in us always. And we're starting to build them within us. We're starting to call them forward. We're starting to be inspired. And this is also a way that we're starting to build our wealth. It's kind of like squirreling it away, putting it in a little bit of a kitty for later. And we don't want everybody to know. It's like, this is my business, okay? Everybody else has a tendency nowadays to tell everybody their business, and that's awesome. If that's right for you, go for it. But during this time, for us Aquarius, to be a little bit quieter, to be a little bit more mindful. We start to find mentors during this time, whether they know they're mentoring us or not. Things, people, places that really inspire. And it's like, oh, wow, this is what I want. This is what I desire. This is what I'm heading towards. The Queen of Pentacles also starts to open up our wealth to us, starts to show us that we can, instead of us thinking that we can't. And we also become mentors to other people, whether we know it or not, because they can see that luck around us. They can see that we're building towards something greater. They can see that we're holding back because we're going to kind of like slingshot ourselves forward. It leads us then to judgment. It leads us to a resurrection of ourselves, a stepping out of the quietness, a stepping out of the meekness, a stepping out of the chaos and saying, but this is what I want. But this is where I'm headed. A stepping out also of the failures. Yes, okay, so I messed up. I took wrong turns. Things didn't work out the way I thought they would. That's fine. That's what life is about. Life is messy and life is overwhelming. But now I get to walk forward to where I want to be, to what I desire, to what I need within my life, within my soul, within myself. And it's a coming out of the box. It's saying, I don't conform, and I'm not going to conform. And even if we do conform in one way or another, there's still this spark of us that shines, that is unconventional and a little bit wild at times, even if we're not wild people. It's like there's this beauty, there's this free dancing inside of our spirits that needs to come forward. And it moves us into a place of greatness, a place of power, a place of greater understanding. And it brings us to our spirit message. And let's see, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Right here. Fantastic. And that is authentic. We are being our authentic selves, which is having us join in unity with others, which is having us create and be inspired and look at things in such a different way. Why? Because it's ringing true with who we are. Not who others want us to be, not who we think we're supposed to be so other people will be proud. It's who we authentically are. That starts moving us forward in a very profound direction and seeing things in a way that we hadn't seen them before. And it opens us then to our spirit animal message. Aquarius, April 2021, money and career, angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Ooh, we have 3, of course. So we have here, we start off with the cow spirit. The miracles are endless. And that's truth right there. The miracles within our lives are endless. The fact that we were born is a miracle. The fact that we got this far is a miracle. We look at miracles and we think they have to be big things. They have to be bold things. They have to be overwhelming things. No, they can be very gentle things, very beautiful things. It doesn't have to be that the miracle is that everybody turns their heads and awes over it. It doesn't have to be that like the hands of heaven lift us out of our despair. What it is very quiet, subtle things. It's child laughter. It's the first flowers of spring. It's the first snowfall or the cold weather. It's these beautiful shifts. It's the person getting you a cup of tea or coffee, when they've gotten themselves one. It's, your kids remembering to clean up after themselves without you asking 18 million different times. Small miracles. It's falling in love. It's staying in love. It's finding your passion. It's feeling contented and grounded. Those are big things. It moves us to the coyote spirit. It says, trust the divine detours. It's not a smooth ride, and it never will be. Trust the detours that come our way, that shift and change things. And the turkey spirit says, give with gratitude and grace. Not to everybody else, though that is important, but to ourselves. Give ourselves, credit. gratitude and grace to what we want and what we desire and who we are becoming and the roads that we had to walk to get here. It leads us then to our subconscious spirit animal message, which is the buffalo spirit. The abundant universe will provide, and it will. There is a way that things are going to work out that will shock us. There is what we desire moving us forward. The abundant universe has a way of setting our path forward, of guiding us to so much more than we expected. It leads us. So it's moving from a place of lack to a place of there is more than enough, to a place of I'm secure and taken care of and guided. And it moves us to our subconscious spirit message, which here is spiritual. It's knowing what we need spiritually within our world. For me personally, a world without a spiritual connection is not a world that I can live in. It's not a world that I can thrive in. So it might be that you are quite the same, that there needs to be that spiritual connection. It may not need to be a dogma, but you might need that. But it needs to have that spiritual beauty, that sense of love and acceptance and compassion and understanding and being connected to something more. And the fact that ancient wisdom holds real truth to it. The fact that all peoples, no matter where they were within the world, no matter the time when they lived, had a wisdom to them, had a meaning to them, had a truth to them. And in a way, and it does sound a bit funny, but in a way, that connection starts opening us up to wealth. Now, first, it can be spiritual wealth, but it leads to financial abundance because it leads us to having this aura about us that people can't quite pin down. It's different, and people are drawn to the different. It leads us then to our subconscious chakra message, which is meditation, the crown chakra. We need to connect with our minds and our hearts. We need to connect with our breath to what we desire, to what it is that we're looking for within ourselves. The sense of making quiet time, making time just to focus on breathing, just to focus on being, just to focus on who we are and what we want. Setting the timer. If we can only do 5 minutes of meditation. If we can do 20 minutes, that's fantastic. And then see if we can do 30 minutes without falling asleep, and 40 if we can. But it's making time for us to connect with our own bodies, with our own selves. And we'll start to see, at least this is what I see within meditation, it's like a mantra starts coming up. If we start to just focus and just think of, where am I out of balance? Where am I out of balance? And then all of a sudden, divinity, spirit, the universe starts giving us a mantra. And for me, when I was meditating, it was, we only have this moment. So why are you worrying about the future? Why are you worrying about everything? We only have this moment. And it's saying connect. And that was so brilliant. And so here with the crown chakra, it's connecting to that prosperity. And it leads us to the person message of the Prince of Pentacles. Now this is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is also a sense of really being soldiers of what we want, go-getters, people who will go after what they desire, where they want to be. We're also going to come up against other people who have been traversing this road a long time. The Prince of Pentacles isn't necessarily the fastest prince in the whole entire thing. And what we're doing here is we're connecting with where we want to be, with how we want to move forward, with what it is that we desire. And other people are on their own journey, and we might kind of butt heads with them. So just be mindful of that they're sitting there and saying, no, it's taken me my lifetime to get here. What the heck are you talking about? And you're going to feel the exact same way with them. It's like, no. I know where I'm headed. I know what I want. It leads us then to the subconscious tarot message. And with the Prince of Pentacles, be a little bit open. See if they just have like a smidgen, if they just have like a breath of something you hadn't seen before. And it's like, oh, so what if I incorporated this into what I'm doing? What if I looked at it this way? And it's going to be surprising what comes up. And then we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is rest after battles. It's looking back and it's seeing everything that's been so hard, so overwhelming, so intense. And it's saying, I respect my road. I respect what I have been through. Instead of thinking, I should have done more, should have kept on pushing, it's like, no, I respect how far I've come. I respect where I am right now. And I respect the power of my future and the power of how I'm building, how I'm growing, and how I'm becoming more than I imagined. It's also being kind to ourselves. All right, Aquarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward, as we step out of the box, as our souls are sung to, and as we rise. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.